You don't need the.
I'm doing this my way.
He a legend, he a legend, he a legend. He a legend, he a legend, he a legend.
Fucking on it though. Then
He
you
a
can't bring it up
legend.
later.
Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols. Welcome to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league, to the league of idols.
What's up, everybody? It's Pikel, and I'm not feeling great. I'm having some stomach issues right now, but that's okay. I'm not going to die, I don't think. But basically, in this video, we're going to go over the results from last night. We're going to check out the games for tomorrow, and also, I guess, we can just say it right in the beginning. Mickey X was picked up by XL Esports. That means they're going to be getting rid of Advienne. My only piece of information in regards to that is that NUKEDUCK wasn't the issue. It was definitely Advienne that was the issue. Now, somebody made a good point on Twitter that the reason they can justify going from Advienne to Mickey X might be the cost of Mickey X. Maybe his price has gone down. Since they originally tried to negotiate with him. So I respect that. I understand that you want to get the best players you can, and I do think that Mickey X is better than Advienne. So, I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, why even make this kind of move if you're going to have a mid laner like NUKEDUCK, which will significantly cap the upside of your team. You're not going to go to Worlds with NUKEDUCK as your mid laner, and if you do somehow, by the grace of God, get to the Worlds with NUKEDUCK, to think that you're going to be competitive at Worlds with NUKEDUCK is a joke. So just really have to think what the end game looks like, and I don't think it makes much sense to make that kind of move with somebody like NUKEDUCK on your team. Anyways, last night we had Ultra Prime against Invictus Gaming. Ultra Prime won that matchup. I believe it was 2-0, and then Anyone's Legends lost to Thunder Talk Gaming, which was a surprise to a lot of people out there. In this video, we're gonna take a look at the match from yesterday, because this is a good learning experience, I think. Let me turn off the sound on that. It's a good learning experience for bettors to see, why we don't trust certain teams, and, even when a team wins, you can learn information about them that might prevent you from wanting to use them in the future. So at this point in the game, Thunder Talk is up 7,000 damage, and they have a pretty good team composition, but it's going to be outscaled by Anyone's Legends, because the Gwen, Ryze, Jinx, and even the Xin Zhao all scale better than their counterparts. I mean, the Aphelios and Jinx is relatively close, but like they mentioned on the cast, Jinx will have a ranged advantage over the Aphelios, but she will not have much of a ranged advantage over the poke of a Jace. So that's something to kind of keep in mind, I guess. But in this clip, you can see the impact that the Jace is having. He could basically two-shot the Lulu if she doesn't use her ultimate. But at this point in the game, what you expect to happen is Thunder Talk is going to play around the neutral objectives. They're sieging right now. They can go to the next dragon in about 40 seconds, but let's just play it out. So the thing that you need to be afraid of, and one of the reasons why people use Thresh with Aphelios, is for situations like this. So when you lock in the Yuumi, you don't have as much counter engage. So Xin Zhao is able to flash in, get onto the Aphelios, and start creating a lot of pressure, which is going to force Thunder Talk off of the top lane tower. Twisted Fate, instead of using his ultimate and getting over there, is just kind of walking, so I don't know if that really makes a ton of sense. But Puff is forced to run backwards, dies. The Olaf looked terrible in this match. I don't know if it's just Frigid not being a great Olaf player or what the issue is, but there were multiple points in this game, as well as some other points in this game, that Olaf just seemed like a huge liability. And that also brings into question, like, why are you drafting this way if you're not going to play aggressive in the early game and try to snowball your jungler, because it's 4-3. I mean, they didn't really have many opportunities for kills either. So it's just a little concerning. Like, obviously, ThunderTalk goes on to win this game, but this is the other spot that I was talking about. So in the aftermath of that previous play, Anyone's Legends feels a little bit confident now that gold deficit is only 4,000. They are pushing in mid lane. They force Olaf to use his ultimate. He has to run away. And then they have Twisted Fate on the side lane. He's looking for an opportunity to come mid lane. So the Olaf is running again. He starts coming in. Then Anyone's Legends decides to turn again. They get in onto the Aphelios. Olaf doesn't have his ultimate at this point. See, like right there, again, we kind of saw this yesterday. Puff used his item to dash into the enemy team, but he doesn't have flash. They know he doesn't have flash, so that just signals to the enemy team, hey, we can go back in and try to kill the Aphelios. So Olaf steps in front and tries to take as much damage as he can from the Aphelios, and Aphelios almost dies there. If he doesn't have stopwatch, he's going to die, which would have been a big issue for ThunderTalk. So again, Olaf not looking great there, but ThunderTalk wins a dragon fight and then ends up winning that game. I think there was something in the second game I wanted to watch. Again, just really slow-paced early game, and I don't know why they're kind of playing this way. I guess it doesn't really matter. It's like just philosophical differences, I guess. So they try to set up a pick there, and then all hell breaks loose around the Rift Herald. So ThunderTalk gets first blood, but they're outnumbered. Akali looking very strong once again. This game kind of just went on forever and didn't really need to. I think that Anyone's Legends got a lot of kills in this game. Yeah, 22 kills doesn't really mean much, in my opinion. And then let's see if there was anything else here. So it's still very close. Still very close. Maple outplayed Captain in that one. I remember that. Is this about to be the team fight? It wasn't that either. It's this team fight. Okay. So now we're at the 29-minute mark. ThunderTalk is on Soul Point. They have about a 3,000 gold lead. They're posturing around the Baron Pit. It's on Anyone's Legends to get into the Baron Pit. If you take a look at the team compositions, Camille against Jax is relatively even from a scaling perspective, but they're both very, very powerful late game fighters. Lee against Xin. The Xin Zhao has the advantage. Vex against LeBlanc. LeBlanc is a strong champion, but Vex has more of an impact in team fights. LeBlanc is more of a pick champion. Then you have Jinx against Aphelios, which is always a good thing. Then you have the playmaking ability of Thresh with a hyper carry versus Yuumi. Yuumi's fine. I don't know if there's enough value on Anyone's Legends to get out of the Yuumi. Like, it's going to help make Lee Sin and Jax a little bit tankier, but they have 3 burst champions and a Yuumi. I don't know. It's just not really the way I think you should be drafting a team composition. Yuumi's more of like as the fight goes on for a longer amount of time, you get more and more value out of having a champion like Yuumi on your team. And that's basically it. So since ThunderTalk has the advantage and is able to set up around the Baron Pit first, they force anyone's legends to come at them. So they get a little overzealous trying to get into the jungle of anyone's legends. They force the teleport out of Jax, which is a good thing because Camille doesn't have a teleport at this point in the game. Jhin is chilling out in the background, not doing much besides giving some utility to the other team. But it does look like an overextend. But this is where a champion like Vex really shines, because there is a tight space and she's able to get off a multiplayer fear. So right there, Lee Sin did an insect to knock Xin Zhao into Thresh, which is pretty cool, but not super necessary. As Lee Sin was going in on to follow his Q, he got feared by the Vex. So Vex had a 3 or 4 character fear there, which is pretty good. And this is why like explosive team fights are good when you have burst champions, but if you don't get a couple of kills, it's going to be tough for you to win a sustained team fight, especially when you have a champion like Jhin. Like Jhin doesn't do much damage at all. So that was a very important spot for ThunderTalk to win that trade, because it eliminates the jungler off the map and it makes it basically guaranteed that they're going to get the Baron. So they basically go from there, shove out mid, back off onto the Baron, take the Baron, and then they end the game. And congratulations to ThunderTalk for getting their first win. So that's basically it for that. Now we can talk about the games for tomorrow. So let's do the hell? I guess we can just do this first. So LNG against FPX. LNG is a -189 favorite over FPX is +144. Ale against Xiaolahu. I prefer Ale. I don't think that the gap is insurmountable. I think that if they draft, if Xiaolahu gets a good champion into one of these matchups, they can definitely beat Ale in lane. I know that we saw them do it last year on like Vladimir and Jace, where they had good performances. So it's definitely possible in this matchup. Klid against Tarzan. Tarzan's a better player. Tarzan's been the better player for the last like 4 or 5 years, I think. Like maybe 3 or 4 years. Klid's very good, but Tarzan is better. So it's going to come down to the rest of the team. Duanbi is better than Gori. Light and Lumao. I prefer them to LWX and Hong. I don't think that it's a completely lopsided match. I think that the odds on the sportsbook are about right, and I would definitely take LNG in this spot, because I still think that FPX is overrated. Like if this match happened without Demacia Cup happening, I think the line would be bigger. Some people are saying it's like a Duanbi FPX revenge narrative kind of thing. I don't know about that, because it's really just LWX. I don't think he has much resentment towards LWX specifically, but I have no idea. I don't speak Chinese, so I don't read any of the news that comes out of China in regards to League of Legends, at least until it's translated. And then in the second match, we have Weibo Gaming, aka The Shining, against V5, aka Ninjas in Pajamas. I don't know why that didn't happen. It was supposed to be a rebrand. But the Shy against Rich. The Shy is the better player. That's not even a question in my mind. I think that there might be people out there who think differently, but I definitely prefer the Shy. SFM against Karsa. Karsa is definitely the more reliable player overall and probably a little bit more talented, but SFM is a fun player to kind of root for. Does a lot of crazy shite. Then we have Angel against Rookie. Rookie is the better player. Rookie against the Shy. That's more of a revenge narrative. I don't know if there's any ill will between them after both leaving Invictus Gaming, but they won a world championship together, which is always good. Idaho, what? Yeah, okay. No thanks. So there's that. And then Huanfeng and An against Photic and PP God. I definitely prefer the Huanfeng and An side of that matchup. The sportsbook has V5 listed as the favorite. I'm going to be on Weibo Gaming as the underdog. I think that this has the chance to be a very bloody match, so I think you can play both sides for DraftKings for sure. It should be bloodier than the LNG FPX match. It'll be cool. Not cool. It might be cool. They're going to both be good matches. I think that the LNG one is less likely to be bloody unless FPX completely goes balls to the wall from a losing position, which I don't think that they will. So that's that. Then in Korea, we have Genji against Kwangdong Freaks. I'm not picking against Genji basically ever. And then we have Bro against DRX. I think we all know what side I'm going to be on that one. I'm like a full-fledged DRX fan at this point. Let's get that. Their last game was against Kwangdong, and apparently they won, and I thought they lost. But that's not super important. So those are the matches. Like I said, I'm not feeling great. I don't really have much more to talk about in this video, but you know, the quick pass at it is Weibo, LNG, Genji, DRX. Three very interesting matchups tomorrow. We're gonna learn a lot about these teams. I was actually gonna look at the rosters real quick in Korea. So Morgan against Kingen is probably a wash. PO6 better than Umti. Zika's better than Lava. Deft and Barrel against Henna and Delight. Yep, I think DRX pulls off the slight upset. Frederick Brion's overrated right now. I have no idea how that happened, but I think that the way that the casters talk about Frederick Brion is going to have an actual impact on public perception of the team. So I'm betting against that. I'm not sure if Bet365 is going to have the lines up for this match. They said that there was a delay. But hopefully that gets sorted out soon. But that's all I got for you today. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.